Um, okay, so it's just, but no, I mean, people saying things in the range of 125 to 140. Yeah, I mean, that's smart enough. It's not your IQ holding you back at that point. No, I mean, yeah, like you do have to have some. So I took an IQ test on a stream. I forget what I got. Uh, I mean, the average probably is 100. Uh, but again, the people who are in this stream, if you join my stream, your IQ is higher right now. Which way does that causal arrow go? Yeah, look, if your IQ is like above 120, your problem is no longer your IQ. Um, how much physics knowledge is important? Yeah, well, then you have to have coded for a couple thousand hours. Don't know. I mean, I've seen. There's things that transfer well to coding. Like, if you're good at math and physics, you probably just transfer well enough to coding, even if you don't have a ton of coding experience, I think. I'm not sure about that. But then again, like, how do you go through math and physics without having, like, especially today, like, how do you just not have exposure to programming? It's not a pseudoscientific swindle. It's correlated with a lot of things. It's not entirely determinative, but it measures something, right? There is a concept of general intelligence, of course. But yeah, so like again, no. Do you have to be a genius? No, no. But you have to like our tinygrad and comma. Uh, the interview process selects for two things: intelligence and motivation. I would guess that most people in this channel have more of a problem with motivation than they do with intelligence. Motivation is not, if you call motivation EQ, whatever, but there definitely is big variance in people's motivations. It's unclear. Like, people also have this idea that like IQ is something you can't change and motivation is. I'm not entirely sure that's true. Like, it seems like your motivation is also pretty unrelated to, like, pretty like, growth mindset doesn't really work. Uh, Now, I think what you can change is what you value. And this might be the most like usable stuff. Like, it turns out a lot of growth mindset stuff is just bullshit. But something you can change, I think, is, and this is why I try to preach this stuff, right? I'm not trying to preach and get smarter. I'm not trying to preach get more motivated. Your motivation, your intelligence, I think, are mostly fixed. But what's not fixed is where you apply yourself and what you believe in, right? There's a lot of smart people who are swindled by a lot of both smart and motivated people who are swindled by incredibly stupid ideologies like effective altruism, okay? This is something you can change. This is something you can spend some time thinking about, and I think you maybe just haven't heard the arguments against these things, right? A lot of people also are irrationally afraid of what other people think of them. And this one I don't know. Like, this one I don't know. Maybe just like I never really like experienced it, but like the kind of people who crave the social approval of others. This is my belief. The biggest thing that somebody can change about themselves, and I'm curious about the actual data on this. But when you stop saying that, like, Like, stop looking at things that what you're told that things are and start looking at things for what they actually are. Like, a lot of people are told a lot of things are, like, when you look at Cruz and Kama, right? Like, it's interesting. It's interesting, right? If you're buying into almost this like mainstream narrative, right? Another thing that can change for people is sort of your like, all right. Hopefully it's been long enough. I didn't get the COVID vaccine. I didn't want to talk about that before when it was politically controversial. I don't think it's politically controversial at all because I don't really have a politically controversial thought on it, right? I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think that vaccines are mostly great. I am skeptical of medical products that haven't been on the market for 5 years. This is how I view drugs. This is how I view research chemicals. This is also how I view vaccines. So the risk of the unknown versus the, quantifiable risk of getting a disease, well, I decided not to take it right now. The thing is, are you in a position in your life where you felt like you could honestly make that decision? Right? Are you in a position in your life where you could have honestly decided, yes, I want the COVID vaccine, or no, I don't want the COVID vaccine, right? If you're surrounded by, like hyper woke, yeah, you're going to have to get it. If you're surrounded by conspiracy theorists, how could you possibly get that? You're polluted now. You probably can't get it, right? But that is what you can control. You can control whether you can control kind of like whether you are subscribed to an ideology or not. You had to get it for college. You didn't. You didn't have to get it for college, right? I mean, I had a vaccine card. Come and arrest me. Please come and arrest me. Please come and arrest me for taking a piece of paper that said CDC. Right? So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I think Europe actually had like terrifying actual asymmetric cryptography to verify this thing. The US had a piece of paper that said CDC on it. You can see my OBS. Okay. Is it leaking something? But yeah, no, like, so that's, again, something you can control. I'm not sure you can control your intelligence. I'm not sure you can control your motivation, but I think you can control who you work for. And stop working for the man. Like, stop working for the man and stop fearing the loss of social approval or the risk, right? Like if you are a motivated 130 IQ person, let me tell you something, man. There's not much that can actually hurt you. Again, the things that might actually, sure, maybe you could get caught up with like, addiction or something like that. But in terms of like the actual struggles of life, they just don't apply to you. They just don't. All right? The things that most people struggle with, and remember, capitalism keeps most people there. What I'm describing with respect to social movements is more or less fixed. I think like your big 5 personality traits are fixed. That's probably true. Well, no, the sheer number of people who've taken it is not enough to say it's safe, right? Like, you don't know if there's some effect that everybody has 1 or 2 years down the line, right? I also questioned I thought that a lot of the science around it was politicized. I thought that if there was something wrong, and not that there really was, look, it turned out to be a pretty indifferent thing, but like, is it really not fixed whether you think for yourself? Maybe it's not. Maybe we're all just slaves to our genetics. There's an idea line where they talk about like, someday we can rewrite our genetic code and break free. Les Wrong explored a lot of these ideas, and every time I take a break, I talk about politics. I'm not talking about politics, am I? I'm talking about what you can actually change. I'm trying to actually give you, if there's any such thing as useful advice. I don't know. Maybe you can't, right? You can't really change your intelligence. That one is well understood. I'm not sure how much you can change your motivation, but let's again assume you can't. but you can change what you choose to focus on and why you choose to focus on it. And if you're telling me you can't change that, then you really just can't change shit. Drugs are probably not going to give you more motivation. Intelligence can decrease. I mean, yeah, like traumatic brain injury, sure, but otherwise, you're rooting for F5 guy. I don't know. All right, let's talk about it. How many of you have felt that you've changed anything because you watch this channel? What do you think you've changed? Good. You've changed your life philosophy, right? I think this is actually very changeable. Stop respecting idiots, man. That's a choice. You can make that choice. Focus less on cosmetics. Perfect, yeah. Look at what things actually are, not what people tell you they are. Good, you question things more often. Great. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. That's like generic advice. You think you've gotten more radical. Do you think I'm radical? I actually think of myself as a very moderate person. You got more liberal. Good. Good. I try to be in the middle. I want to make conservatives more liberal, and I want to make liberals more conservative. You changed your MRC. Yeah. Well, it's not that you totally shouldn't care about other people's opinions. You should ask yourself why you care, right? Sometimes, you know, using other people's opinions is a fine... I don't know. It's a fine, like, proxy. But, like, again, does it come from a place of I like their opinions because they're usually right? Or I like their opinions because of some other reason? Everyone thinks they're moderate. Yet everyone thinks they're a better than average driver. No, I mean, I don't know. I think it was on Twitter yesterday, like, if you don't have one low-status belief, you're not really a free thinker. Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Have I convinced anybody to quit their FANG job? Well, if your intelligence doesn't matter how many GPUs you can buy, Sam Altman already has all the GPUs. So, good, good. You actually quit VC-funded SaaS. That's great. That's great. You quit your job as a university lecturer. Why would you do that? I don't know. Was the university imposing wokeness shit? Or did it actually motivate you to live in your van? Living in a van is cool. Like, again, it's one of those things that's young. When you're young, live in a van and do drugs. And then when you're in your 30s, if you still live in a van and do drugs, something went wrong. Because they stopped allowing you to do research and you got a better offer. See, that's not something you changed because of this channel. You currently work 5 hours a week. You do basically nothing and get paid okay. See, that's what I mean. Like, stop being comfortable. Stop it. Like, they're gonna lull you to death, you know? It gives you money? Dude. Oh my, like, that's the, like, how do you not see it? How do you not see that money is just made up by a bunch of goons? Why do you care about it? You're getting goon coin. Oh. Look for girlfriends on LinkedIn. It's not good. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, boys. Goon coin. Dude, just imagine you worked your whole life Just imagine you worked your whole life for Argentinian goon coin, and then it went like that, okay? I just, like, that's how fake the money is. Oh. But you I need money to live. Okay, wait. T-bossies, let's go. How much money do you need to live? McAfee's still alive, man. He's on a boat. You need millions to live? You need 2K a month to live. Okay. 700 a month? Sick. Wait, you guys are talking, like, you understand you can easily make that, like, on tinygrad bounties. Well, you can make way more, but, like, you can make, I mean, if you work really hard, you can make 2K a week on tinygrad bounties, if you work on it full time. 2K a month, but I imagine a lot of you guys saying 2K a month aren't in America. I think you need more than 2K a month to live in most places in America. But you people saying 200K, like, what the fuck are you spending money on, man? It's like, you ever see that joke about the budget where it's like, money spent on groceries, $50. Money spent on gas, $30. Money spent on scented candles, $800. You need 6K a month. You don't need 6K a month. I mean, that's still not even that much money. You need your scented candles. Exactly. I own a Rolls Royce, all right? It's don't buy a Rolls Royce. How much do I actually spend? I don't know. I don't pay that much attention, but, like, not much, because I don't really do anything. I don't support anybody. What I'm saying is, like, yeah, okay. All right. The guy with money is telling you not to worry about money. Well, I mean, yeah, but, like, how do you think I got money, right? If I got money, I hate hypocrisy, right? Like, there's two types of people in the world, assholes and hypocrites, and I'm an asshole. I'm not a hypocrite. If I got money by working for Fang and saving it for 7 years and then told you all not to worry about money, then I'd be a hypocrite, right? Realistically, how did I get money? I mean, like, how did I get money? Being early in crypto? Doing contract work for people with programming skills that I developed? Yeah, pretty much those two things. Wow, I'm really thinking about it. I lost money on Cheapy. I lost $5,000 on Cheapy. The Apple thing. I made some money off donations. I made money off donations for jailbreaks. Yeah, I got VC backing, but I didn't get that personally. Comma's paid me very little. I don't, right now I don't take any salary from Comma. I don't take any salary from Tiny Corp. I mean, I made money in the stock market, but that's kind of just a question of having money. How did I afford the Rolls Royce? That was a contract. I did a development contract for Optimism. It's public. You can here. Let's see the rope. This is how I got my Rolls Royce money. Writing this. Did I go heavy? I made good money on Nvidia. Yeah, I sold too early, but I made money on Tesla. You know, just investing in what I believe in. Supermicro was a windfall. Again, sold way too early. My Twitter adventure. Twitter did end up paying me. Twitter, after I left, ended up sending me a check for the 2K a week I asked for. So, you know, they're good people. They didn't stiff me. It's just hard to. No, I lost money on Meta. Don't talk to me about Meta. Did I see Starship launch? Yeah, dude. Unbelievable. Really unbelievable. I'm so happy that we have that. Oh, Proto, you're here. Great. Good. I'm glad this is continuing. Actually, at first when I saw that it was archived, I'm like, oh no, Canon's over. Wait, I bought so much Supermicro stock when the story was published. Oh, I hope to have it because I made like 200K off that. Will Optimism get hacked? Read my read my thing. Don't use this software. I was not paid nearly enough to do security audits on the software. But I mean, in theory, it works. Yeah. So I mean, this was the most recent thing that I made some good money on doing this contract. But like again, you guys are talking about the amount of money you need. It's well within the, if you 2K a month, you can easily make that with tinygrad bounties. You should be able to make 2K a week if you work really hard. And again, I pay the same salary, I pay the same bounties regardless of whether you're in America or in the cheapest to live country. Thoughts on Hugging Face? I like Hugging Face. What would I do if I came into billions? I would donate it to effective altruism. Psych! No, I don't know. What would I do if I came into billions? You were just super genius who hops on projects and makes bank. But again, like, how did I get that way? Right? I got that way by doing contracts for way less money, right? I'm very happy that Canon's continuing. If you live in Nebraska for cheap, how would you find nice chicks? I'm sure there's pretty girls in Nebraska, man. What's KSA? Oh, Saudi Arabia. I went to Dubai last year. It was very nice. You'll move to Hawaii. No, I live in San Diego. This is like the nicest place in the world. What kind of contract work I did early on? Cell phone unlocks. Like a bunch of low-end cell phones. Some of the first contracts I did. But I also made decent money off donations from the jailbreaks. I did go to Bangalore. CA taxes are insane. The way to not pay taxes is not to make any money. I bought a Rolls Royce with my Canon money. Do you genuinely believe that any person can be as good of a problem solver as you if they work hard enough? No. No, of course not. That's absurd. But I do believe that most people apply... Like, again, you're not going to be able to change those things about yourself, but you can change what you work on and how you contribute. Right? You can change how you structurally approach things, and I really believe you can change this. Like, this is definitely not in your DNA. I mean, clearly it's not in your DNA. Oh, yeah, Pwn to Own. I mean, that's just public that I made money off that shit. Yeah! Right? I mean, like, this is actually most of the money I made in my life. This and a bunch of other contracts. And then I put in a bank account. And then I, like, live off the interest because I don't really spend money on much. Rolls Royce, again, you're only spending on depreciation. You're not. But see, I never did any of this stuff for money. Right? I never like thought about anyone who thinks about it, anyone who like is worried about their like total comp. Like that's such you're never going to be rich. How would I find someone who has difficulty focusing on a particular thing? I'm thinking I just need to cut back the video games. Okay, so like the thing about motivation is I don't really think you get that much. I don't really think you can have that much control about where you apply it either, right? If you find yourself drawn to video games, like play video games, but be smart about it, right? If you find yourself drawn to, like, you're not going to be able to work on something that you hate. That's just never going to happen, right? One of the stupidest things I've ever heard, stupidest pieces of advice is find your passion. This is dumb. This is not how it works. Like nobody goes on a search for their passion and then finds it. Everyone I know who's actually quote unquote passionate about something has been obsessed with it ever since they were little. And I make a little off Twitch. I appreciate you guys, you know? I think I make about like 15 grand a year on Twitch. Would I be able to afford an H100 cluster? No, I'm not that rich, guys. Like, I'm not, again, like, okay, the secret to being rich is not making a lot of money, right? Johnny Depp had a lot of money and he's broke as shit, right? The secret to being rich is making more money than your lifestyle. It's probably easier to decrease your lifestyle. Figure out what you're spending money on and stop spending money on it. You're not taking my advice. I'm poor. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. All my life, I'm waiting until I make a certain amount. The fuck, man? You know what? You know what fucked me up? I did make some money when I was young and I got to a certain amount and then I was like, wait, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. What? I have never even spent that much money in my life, you know? Don't live in a van. Living in a van's expensive. See, this is what that's like it's expensive to be poor, right? The more money you make, the more you upgrade your lifestyle. See, that is where you're falling for the scam. Your savings will be worthless when they enforce digital fiat money. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. No, the peak of the curve is I think it's not even the peak of the curve. I think there is a fixed amount. It does depend on where you live. But there's a fixed amount of money that you will not be happier if you make more than that. Lower liabilities instead of raising revenue, exactly. Right? I mean, look at my companies, the same shit. Do I believe Kim.com when he talks about U.S. economic collapse? Well, Argentina's economy can collapse. U.S. is the reserve currency for still many countries. We have a long way to fall. Do I need a material scientist for what? My crappy ABS plastic? Oh, it's good ABS plastic. It's good. We got high temp spec plastic. Regardless of your wealth, the burger tastes the same. That's right. That's right. Richest men in the world are drinking Diet Coke. You know. I tried to make myself like Diet Coke. You know, like Carmack drinks it. You know, you got to like get into Diet Coke, but no, couldn't do it. I don't like it. Make 60K, you're happy. Exactly. I don't know anything about Argentina's new president. Shouldn't you make as much money as possible and consume because the purpose of the universe is increasing entropy? Like Tony Montana? You know what happens to him at the end of that movie, right? All right. Biggest regret in my life. I always regret not hodling. No, I don't regret the Twitter internship at all. I do not regret the Twitter internship one bit. Even though it was short, I had a great experience. I hope Elon doesn't regret offering it to me. You know, it was just like the Elon monarchy is not perfect, and you have to accept that. I do still believe it's preferable to the current oligarchy, but the Elon monarchy is not perfect. It's not everything you would want, but it's probably still better than the alternative because they launched Starship, and when does the last time NASA launch something, you know? I did get paid for Twitter internship. I did. Not that much, but I got paid $2K a week. Like, I think that's a respectable... By the way, $2K a week is the intern salary for Tiny Corp. Interns here are getting paid $2K a week. We have one intern now. We have 2 interns starting in January, and we have an intern starting in May. What about the George monarchy? Well, you know, you can't find your passion later in life. You just fuck, bro. $2K a week is you can live comfortably on $2K a week. I spend under $2K a week. Considerably under $2K a week. My rent's $2K a month. I don't know. I guess half my money really does go to tax, so like $4K. What do I spend? I mean, I buy food. I probably spend like $50 a day on food. And then, yeah, I'll buy some, like, stupid. I'll probably spend, like, $500 on consumer electronics. That's kind of it. I guess I buy plane tickets, too. Sometimes. I guess I spend some money on travel. No, but I don't pay actually half of it in taxes. I get some of it back. I probably spend, like, $5K a month. $50 a day is actually way more than I spend on food. That's a real overestimate. Most of the time I eat at Comma. I've never met Taylor Swift. I'd like to, though. Does tinygrad hire right now? Well, yeah, but if you haven't solved a bounty, I'm not going to hire you, right? In ML, it's really important that the train set and the test set are the same. So, you know, the test set's after you get hired. The training set is doing the bounties, right? Your extrovertedness is probably, I don't know, genetic early childhood. Am I streaming now because Comma's Black Friday sale flopped? Comma's Black Friday sale is the best of all time. We're doing this is the best Black Friday to date. In terms of money, we're selling way more devices. Have I worked with that rock chip? Yeah. Yeah, it's actually pretty decent. It's a pretty decent chip. Was Tiny Corp renamed? No. What's the most efficient way to get exceptional at coding if you're constrained on time? A montage. How about installing a non-profit board full of women? I'll pass on that one. Do I think crypto is going to come back? Crypto is their own worst enemy, man. There's too much money in the space. Did I try Grok? No, I don't have access. I gotta buy. I already buy blue checkmark Twitter. I gotta buy like super checkmark Twitter. Ugh, it's too complicated. What's the secret to life that not that many people know about? How to not fail at life, quit bitching about the bitches edition. Google it, we'll leave you there. Thank you all for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday. Make sure to buy and spend within your means. Only buy something if it will genuinely make you happy. Don't buy an iPad. You know how many times I've bought an iPad, I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this iPad, and then you don't. Come on, everyone has that experience. You could be honest with yourself. You could be honest with me and admit it. Thank you all for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Goodbye, everybody.